Hey everyone! What started as a high-tech upgrade turned into something no one saw coming. Let's dive into the story. A soft autumn breeze rustled through the mature oaks lining the quiet streets of Cedar Hill. Karen stood on her porch, arms crossed, her eyes narrowed skeptically as gleaming silver smart home company vans rolled silently into the neighborhood. Each van was sleek, immaculate, branded in minimalist lettering that radiated a sense of modernity and promise. Technicians, dressed in matching white uniforms, exited vehicles gracefully, carrying neatly boxed gadgets, cameras, and sleek digital panels. They went door to door, greeted enthusiastically by excited neighbors eager to welcome this futuristic upgrade to their homes. Karen felt uneasy, a faint tugging at the edge of her consciousness, a quiet suspicion that something wasn't quite right. Days passed, and Karen observed her neighbors adapting to their new automated lifestyles. Elderly Mr. and Mrs. Sanders, who lived across the street, gushed about how their new company smart system had simplified everything from controlling lights and curtains to thermostat adjustments. Teenagers marveled at their smart mirrors that suggested daily outfits based on the weather forecast, mood indicators, and trending styles. The entire community buzzed with excitement, except Karen, who remained unconvinced. Her training as an environmental lawyer had taught her to scrutinize every detail and always look beneath the surface. Yet, she kept her doubts private, unwilling to dampen the excitement of her neighbors without clear evidence. One sunny afternoon, while sipping tea on her porch, Karen overheard Mr. Sanders raising his voice across the street. Concerned, she hurried over to see what was wrong. He stood in his front yard, visibly shaken, complaining to a technician about his lights flickering randomly, doors locking and unlocking spontaneously, and receiving strange, unsolicited advertisements via his email and phone. The technician, unfazed, merely smiled and assured him these were temporary adjustments. Karen watched carefully, realizing that perhaps her instinct was correct after all. As weeks passed, the subtle abnormalities multiplied. Karen noticed neighbors exhibiting strangely synchronized behaviors, leaving their homes simultaneously, returning together, even planting identical flowers in their gardens. A chilling uniformity was taking hold of Cedar Hill, eroding its characteristic charm and individuality. One evening, while hosting a small HOA board meeting, Karen brought up her concerns casually, hoping to test the waters. The response was unsettling. Her colleagues laughed dismissively, calling her paranoid. Tom Daniels, the HOA treasurer, seemed particularly insistent on ignoring her fears, advocating passionately for the system's benefits. His eyes avoided hers, and his words felt rehearsed. Determined to find answers, Karen began closely monitoring the neighborhood. From her window late at night, she observed synchronized lighting patterns, entire blocks illuminated and darkened simultaneously, as though choreographed. Security cameras panned quietly, following pedestrians' movements, silently cataloging every interaction. It was as though the neighborhood itself had become a carefully controlled experiment, managed by some invisible hand. The more Karen saw, the greater her discomfort grew. She knew that ignoring her instincts could prove catastrophic. Karen's concerns deepened when a young software engineer named Ethan moved into the neighborhood. At a welcoming barbecue, Karen learned Ethan had previously worked for Smart Home Company, but had left due to ethical conflicts. Seizing the opportunity, she invited him to speak privately. Ethan hesitated at first, visibly troubled, but eventually revealed alarming information. Companies' smart systems were designed to gather detailed behavioral data, creating psychological profiles that could predict and influence decisions on a frightening scale. Karen listened in disbelief. Ethan explained the insidious nature of the system, capturing facial expressions, voice patterns, even body language to predict emotional states and manipulate residents' behavior subtly. Ethan's warnings matched Karen's observations perfectly. Recognizing Ethan's expertise and sincerity, she enlisted his help immediately, determined to expose the truth. Their quiet alliance had begun, but Karen knew exposing Smart Home Company would be dangerous and complicated. She realized it would take courage, patience, and meticulous planning to reveal the sinister truth. Karen spent nights poring over HOA financial documents, looking for irregularities. Her persistence paid off when she found large, unexplained payments made directly to Smart Home Company, authorized by Tom Daniels. She confronted him immediately, demanding explanations. Tom's reaction startled her. He became evasive, stammering vague justifications about community enhancement. Clearly, he was hiding something serious. Karen discreetly began investigating Tom's background, uncovering shocking connections. He wasn't merely an advocate for company. He had a substantial financial stake in the company. Betrayal stung sharply. Tom had served alongside Karen for years, yet he was actively participating in exploiting the neighborhood he professed to care about. Karen shared these findings with Ethan, who dove deeper into company's secure servers using his technical prowess. The data revealed chilling specifics. Every household activity, from television viewing habits to private conversations, was being meticulously logged and analyzed. Company planned to sell this highly sensitive data to advertising companies, insurance providers, and even political organizations. Cedar Hill wasn't just a test site. It was a laboratory for unprecedented societal control and profit. Understanding the urgency, Karen scheduled a community-wide meeting under the guise of routine updates. When neighbors assembled in the community center, she revealed Ethan's shocking findings through a vivid multimedia presentation. Gasps echoed around the room as residents watched footage from their own homes, intimate family moments, conversations, all recorded without their knowledge. Outrage erupted, and Karen struggled to control the anger surging through the gathering. The residents now fully understood their privacy had been grossly violated, their lives manipulated for corporate greed. Amid the commotion, Tom tried to defend the system, weakly suggesting Karen was overreacting. His voice faltered under the weight of betrayal expressed by neighbors who had trusted him. Realizing his deceit had been exposed, Tom left the meeting hurriedly, but the damage was done. Cedar Hill's residents had seen the truth, and the reality was inescapable. Their trusted HOA member had sold them out for profit. Determined, Karen and Ethan arranged a face-to-face confrontation with Lauren Gray, company's charismatic CEO. Lauren's office was intimidatingly luxurious, with panoramic city views emphasizing the immense power at her disposal. Karen confidently presented their evidence, accusing Lauren directly of exploiting innocent people. Lauren, maintaining composure, offered Karen significant financial incentives to remain silent. Karen's refusal was immediate, firm, and resolute. Lauren's calm demeanor finally broke, revealing the ruthless corporate executive beneath the charming exterior. Realizing negotiations had failed, Lauren resorted to threats, warning Karen about repercussions. But Karen was unwavering. She left the office resolute, determined to bring down company publicly, regardless of personal risk. With Ethan's technical expertise, Karen leaked incontrovertible evidence to major news outlets and social media platforms. Within hours, the story exploded nationwide. Public outrage was intense, demanding justice and transparency. Investigations began immediately. Smart home companies' shares plummeted overnight. Lauren was forced to publicly acknowledge wrongdoing and issue apologies. Cedar Hill's residents felt vindicated, relieved, yet deeply shaken by the magnitude of the breach. Tom Daniels faced legal consequences, arrested for conspiracy and misuse of HOA funds. Cedar Hill quickly reorganized their HOA leadership, electing Karen as interim president unanimously. The community began dismantling companies' invasive technologies, reclaiming their privacy and autonomy. Months later, Cedar Hill held a neighborhood festival to celebrate their reclaimed freedom. Families gathered joyfully, free from invasive oversight. Karen, once seen as overly strict, now basked in genuine admiration. Ethan decided to stay permanently, becoming an integral part of the community, advising neighbors on digital privacy and ethical technology use. The experience had transformed Cedar Hill profoundly. Neighbors grew closer, appreciating human connection more than ever before. As Karen watched her neighbors enjoy the festivities, warmth filled her heart. The battle had been exhausting, but the victory was sweet. Cedar Hill was no longer a test lab for manipulative corporations, but a testament to resilience, unity, and the enduring power of collective action. Standing proudly among the people she'd fought fiercely to protect, Karen knew the community's future was brighter and safer, because they had faced this challenge together and triumphed. If you enjoyed this story of courage, tech, and betrayal, don't forget to like and subscribe. HOA Karen stood alone exposed the truth, and changed her town forever. What would you do in her place? See you in the next video.